All right, hey. How's everybody in the YouTube world doing today? I have made my day and I got a bow issue I got to work on. So I was shooting yesterday afternoon and I'll show you here in a little bit, but if you, these movable sights, Junior is so loud, huffing and puffing. I just got home and turned him loose and he's wanting me to throw this bumper for him. But anyway, on these sights that are micro adjust, not a one pin mover, but a micro adjust, I will show you. So it's a little knob at the top of it, okay? And when you loosen what keeps that sight steady, so you turn that knob left, right, up, and down. There's a little bitty spring that sits in there, and then there is a little bitty BB, smaller than your regular copper BB like you're used to. And that BB sits on top of that spring, and the actual knob that you turn has some little indentations in it, so when you turn it, it clicks, click, 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 click. So that way, when you move your sight up or down, those are micro adjust sights. So this true ball sight I was in the yard shooting it yesterday, and I forgot to loosen what releases the brakes to where you can micro adjust that pin. I forgot to loosen it. So I reach up there and I'm turning on my little knob and my housing's not moving, and I was like, about the time it happened, my knob got really loose. And not only did I lose my little BB that clicks, I lost my spring that holds that BB tight up against the knob. So not good. And I'll show y'all all this here in a little bit. So the sight still works, okay, but it don't have the little micro adjust clicks. You have to hold pressure on it, and it don't make no sense to have a $300 sight that don't work correctly. So went by a local bow shop while I was working today down south. I have a really good friend and a cousin that pretty much runs B&B Archery down in Jackson. I was down there calling on customers today, so I ran by there. We took a old true ball sight apart. Because when I went in there, I told him what I needed. He was like, "Ugh, Slade." I said, "Let me see your junk drawer," because me working at a bow shop, I had a junk drawer. In every bow shop, especially if you've been in business as long as B&B have, you have a junk drawer. And I said, "Have you got an old True Glow sight in there?" True Glow had a bone collector sight, a couple other sights. Some of you guys may remember it. They were the first really inexpensive but unbelievable micro adjust sight. It had micro adjust windage and elevation, up and down, left and right. And he reached in there and found one. I said, "That's got the spring and the BB that I need, I guarantee." Got some tools over there. We went to taking it apart, and sure enough, the spring and the BB that I needed that were in there. I got it dumped out, put it in a little Ziploc bag, worked the rest of the day, and just got home. So I'm going to go to Dad's. I could probably do it here, but I need to put my bow in a little vise where I can use both of my hands, because that spring's T90 and the BB is even smaller than that. And you guys know how, when you're dealing with something real small like that, you need both your hands. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'm going to be able to get that spring set in there, get that BB set in there, and get my bow back where it will micro adjust. Like I said, it'll still work, but it won't work the way I want. We're getting down to nut cutting, getting ready to leave to go elk hunting soon, and I have got to get my stuff spot on. So y'all come on, we'll ride over to Dad's, see if I can get that sight fixed. I might shoot a little bit. Hey man, what you doing, Junior? So here's what I was telling y'all about the knobs. This one here I've got loosened up. My battery's about to die. So if you loosen this, some of you might not know when I was talking about the clicks. If you look right there, you can see that BB. And you hear that? That's what makes it click. See that BB right there? And then you tighten up. Well, if I loosen up on this one, it don't click. So when it's not clicking, it'll move, but there's no micro adjust there at all. So this little bitty spring right there and that little bitty BB is what makes it is what makes it click. So that's what I'm gonna change out.
You need some tweezers?
Probably. So y'all see that spring right there? I don't know if you can see it, if it'll focus on it. There it is. See the spring? So the spring was still there. And then there's the little ridges. If you look, those are little bitty, you can see the BB will fit right there. And that's what makes those clicks. And that BB sits right on top of that spring. So I got to get the BB to sit there, and then this will just screw back on top of that right there like that. So let's see if we can get it fixed. All right, so there's the BB. Put my hand behind it so you can see it. And there it is. See it sitting right on top of there. Now I got to take that knob and get it put back on top of it. Yeah. And then it'll be ready to go. So now that's locked. When you loosen it, up, down. Learned something today, didn't you?
Well, I learned you how to hold it, that's the thing. Show them what you used to.
Oh yeah, Daddy had some medical, what are those called? Hemostats. And that's what, so the best way to do it, if you ever do it yourself, you grab the little ball, you can push the ball down on top of the spring, get this started, and then you can tighten it up. And then it's got a little set screw right in there that holds it. So now I can go re-zero my sight. All right, so got my, gotta feed the cat. So got my bow. I was over at Dad's. I'm probably gonna go back over there and shoot in a little bit. I had to come home to get Julie and Ainsley. We're gonna go back to Mom's. Mom's got some taco soup fixed up. So I'm gonna go, I'm fixing to shoot it a little bit out here just to see, just cause I wanna shoot a few times, but I'll probably go to Dad's. When I'm really, my bow's shooting really good, but when I really want to, especially check, so 20, 30, 40, I can pretty much do here pretty easy. But my 50, 60, I can do at Dad's. I got a little more room. Plus, sometimes I just like for Dad to kind of watch me and help me shoot a little bit. But good to fix my sight. I fixed a ton of those back in the bow shop. I used to have guys come in all the time, and they had those issues. So it's not the first time I've fixed it, but it can be a little bit tricky if you hadn't ever done it. So if you ever lose your BB in your sight, it's pretty easy fixed. You just gotta, hey, you can go watch the Follow the Fancher video. He'll show you how. So let's shoot a little bit. So it's a touch low. So I'm gonna loosen that. I'm gonna move it down a little bit. See where that gets us to. It's better, maybe just a little bit right. Not a lot, but a little. Really close, really close. So, one more. It's money right there. So another thing, tell you what, let me get y'all turned around. So, you know, obviously I can't imagine anybody today buying a sight that is not micro adjust. And I mean, now granted, I'm just at 20 yards. My first one was just a little bit low and right. My second one was in the dot, but on the right hand side of that white dot right there. And the next one was right in it. I have talked about this before. I talked about this in the bow shop, but I hadn't been in the bow shop for 3 years. It'll be 3 years in December. I've been at Taylor's 3 years in December. But I talked about it a lot then. So many people would come in the store and we would talk, especially about sights and rest and quivers, and you know, that's a $300 sight, okay? That's a micro adjust sight. And man, people be like, well, my bow's not shooting good. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? And it'd be shooting a bullet hole through the paper, and they'd be like, I mean, it's just, I'm not hitting where I want it to. So we would go in the range or something there, and it'd be hitting 4 or 5 inches to the right, or that much high, or that much low, or that much left. And they're like, and I'm like, well, why don't you move your sight? And they're like, I mean, I hate to move my sight. Move your sight, people, especially when you got a sight like that that's micro adjust. It's super easy, okay? And I know this will be an unpopular opinion, but everybody wants their broadheads to hit what their field tips do. And in a perfect world, that is great. But if my ram cap broadhead don't hit exactly where these field tips right here hit, then it's no big deal. I zero my pin as long as I'm getting good air flight now. Okay, let's make this clear. As long as I'm getting good air flight, I don't mind if my Junior's having a fit. I don't mind if that broadhead don't shoot right where that field tip is. Now I don't want it to be 15 inches difference, but if it's off a little bit, then when I come outside, I got my broadhead target down there. This is how I do it. So I bring my 3 field tips and I have 1 broadhead, okay? 4 shots. I'm gonna shoot these field tips. I'm gonna zero to the broadhead. I want that broadhead hitting dead center every time of the dot, okay? But if these 3 field tips, if they are 2 inches high and 3 inches left, it don't matter as long as they're in a group like that right there, okay? Don't matter to me because I'm zeroed. Go back to what I just said. I'm zeroed to the field tip, to the broadhead. So if they don't shoot exact, 0 to the broadhead, shoot your field tips. As long as they're in a good group, then, I mean, I think your bow's tuned pretty good. But that's just me, old school. So I'm going to shoot a couple more times. We're going to go to Mom and Dad's and eat some taco soup. All right, so come back upstairs. I just want to clear it up a little bit. Like I was saying, you know, in a perfect world, I like for my broadheads to hit right where my field tips do. But I mean, I've never stressed about it, and I shot bows a lot back with Dad in the days where you could not ever get a broadhead. It was really hard to make a broadhead fly good. Now it's different. Bows are amazing. You really just don't have that issue like you used to. But again, if my broadheads don't hit where my field tips are, no big deal. I want my broadheads to hit right where that pin is, right behind that pin every time. But, you know, it's not a huge deal if it don't. But I'm going to zero to my broadheads and make sure my field tips are still shooting a good group. And as long as I do that, then not a lot of issues. Still working on all my gear. I got gear everywhere. So next few videos, not only is it going to be about bows, but it's going to be about gear. And Dad and I getting closer, one day closer every day to a Bugle Bull. All right, so we come to Mom and Dad's. I'm out here at the skinning shed. Y'all know the skinning shed with all mine and Dad's elk kids here. I would love to be able to add at least one more. Here in a few days, we're gonna be headed out. So I hope maybe we can have some luck and I can run an arrow through a big old bull elk. We also have a deer tag and a bear tag, which is a mule deer and then a bear. So that'd be cool. I mean, we'd have a mixed bag, but we ate at Mama's a little bit. I should have videoed because Mama cooked some of the best taco soup that I've ever had. But I come out here I had to get a couple things that I needed here in the shop. And we fixing to head home, but y'all stay tuned. Like I said, the next couple of videos will just be me continuing to get my gear ready, continuing to get my gear. Since we're doing something a little different, and y'all will see what we're doing. I'm having to pack a little bit different than I used to. Not take quite as much stuff, but I'm also taking some stuff that I normally don't take that I hadn't taken in years and years. So anyway, if it's coming, I can hear the elk bugle right there. Appreciate y'all following the Fanchers. God bless. Jesus saves. We'll see y'all.